Hi everyone. So as always, I do like to do my monthly favorites to show you guys what I'm really liking, because otherwise you guys don't really know, because I film so many tutorials and I play around with a lot of different products and stuff like that. It doesn't really give you guys a general idea of exactly what I'm loving or exactly what I'm thinking, so I try to pop in a few reviews here and there. And instead of doing just tons of mini hauls or whatever like that, I like to just incorporate products like that into tutorials and really kind of show you guys how to use them, because I feel that's very helpful. So this month is really hard month. I feel a lot of colorful tutorials and a lot of nude tutorials at the very same time, because of the Valentine's Day series was very colorful and each tutorial had like a different central color going, and then my Wonder Woman series was pretty much all pink and blue. I don't understand why that series did not include the green palette, but it is what it is. I used my dupe for Mighty Aphrodite pretty much a major portion of this month. So I would definitely say my favorite blushes would have to be peachy corally colors. They typically are peachy corally colors. Those are the blushes I like to buy. And I used a lot of MAC Peaches. This is really pretty. This sold out a few times last year, right around Ripe Peach coming out, and then when Viva Glam Cindy was launched, because this was the blush that she was wearing on the face chart, Cyndi Lauper was. So there is Peaches by MAC all by its lonesome. It's really gorgeous by itself, actually. But because this color that I'm going to show you next, Fleur Power, is so vibrant, and this is sort of a dupe out of the smaller side of Mighty Aphrodite, this pinky coral color. It's really pretty, but because it's so vibrant, it really took over Peaches. So that is those two. I wore those two a lot this month. Blended together, they're really, they're very vibrant. I mean, a lot of you guys know I already wear quite a bit of blush and stuff like that, so you could definitely see what Mighty Aphrodite looks like. Alright, getting off of the Mighty Aphrodite talk, I will tell you what some of my favorite cream bases are, because I always use cream bases in my tutorials. One of my favorite cream bases was actually MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. I think I used this the most this month, whether I was using it as concealer, as an eyeshadow base. It's actually just a nice nude color. It's basic. Anybody can wear it. It doesn't matter what your skin tone is. It'll just lighten and brighten that area and get it prepped and primed and, well, ready to go. I put it over the top of Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I actually got a couple questions about the use or proper usage of Painterly. I don't want to say that there is an exact right or wrong. It really just depends on everyone's skin, but I feel that the best way to go about applying it, at least for me, is Urban Decay Primer Potion and then a little bit of Painterly. So I use that the most. And then my other two cream shadows that I used this month a lot of were two from Buxom Stay There eyeshadows. I really like these shadows. They're creamy. When you touch them, they feel squishy. Somebody left a comment on my review of these and said, I can't believe you kept saying pet it, pet it. I'm like, no, I'm serious. Pet it. These things are funny. These are squishy. And this review of my monthly favorites is going nowhere. So I used Pug and Mutt the most. Pug is the silver, and then Mutt is that taupey color that you see right there. So I really enjoyed those the most. And I actually did use those in coordination with a couple things in particular. And those were my Berry M Dazzle Dusts. These were sent to me by someone I talked to, Teresa here from the UK here on YouTube. She's like YouTube friend, and she sent me the Berry M Dazzle, or a few of the Berry M Dazzle Dusts, I should say. And I used number 51 a lot. This is this kind of in the vein of MAC's Satin Taupe. So I use that. These are really nice. They're light to touch. You can barely feel them. So because of that, you don't get a lot of fallout, and they're not hard to work with, unlike the MAC pigments, which can fall out and create vibrant mess. Then I also used a lot of my Barium Dazzle Dust in number 24, which is kind of like MAC's Sumptuous Olive. And I used a lot of that as well. Really love that. There it is. Really love that. I don't own Sumptuous Olive, but I definitely like the texture of the Barium Dazzle Dusts. I wish I lived in the UK because I love their makeup. Speaking of makeup from that originated in other countries, I went on my first Inglot haul, and it is a bit out of my ways, but if you have an entire like day off and there's one just a couple hours away from you or what have you, I feel that it's so worth it. I think these shadows are amazing. It's a fun day trip. It's great being there, and you know, I definitely like to go a little out of my bounds and see what's available in another area. So I picked up, you know, the Inglot palettes, a couple palettes. I picked up a compact. I bought just some basic colors to get me started. So I had those, some basic browns, so that I had some nice Inglot transitional colors, and also some brights to get me started. So I had some great looks that I can work with, and I really love those. The magnets are strong, so just beware. Don't carry one, you have to carry both even though they're all stuck together, because I made the mistake of carrying one and the bottom fell off and I had to repair this eyeshadow. I had to put Visine on it and press it back down. That's why the texture is slightly different, but it still works. It's beautiful. Okay. Then my favorite liner, and I know that I am big into using Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper because it's actually really easy to glide on. It gets you a nice line and it's easy to take off and build up. So I do like that one a lot. But I really enjoyed this one. This is the Inglot number 77 Black Matte Gel Liner. It is waterproof, so you're going to need makeup remover and to get this off, but it's a little stiff because it's waterproof, but just bear that in mind, and then you set it with a eyeshadow. I also enjoyed Fascinating Eye Kohl by MAC. I didn't always want harsh, heavy black line on my waterline this month. There was a lot of days out of this month where I worked really hard and I was so tired that I wanted to brighten my face right back up, and I was using Fascinating Eye Kohl. And I don't use white eyeliner a lot, I usually use black. So that goes, you know, definitely for a monthly honorable mention. For my favorite brush of the month, I probably rocked the 224, especially around my outer socket and crease, because it just gives me a nice, smooth, soft blend. Everybody's got their favorite brush, depending on how their hands work and whatnot. So it is what it is. I know some people really love to use the 217, the belly of the 217 to do that. I like the 217 a lot, but because I can be heavy-handed with my crease work, I definitely like to use this one. And yeah. For my favorite highlighter, it goes to Shea Shea Lame. I love this. It's so smooth. This is the Special Resort Highlight Powder. As you can see, my texture of it is going down, but who cares? It's beautiful. I bought it, honestly, I'm not going to lie, for the texture, but I've learned that it's so much more than that. Now, I also really loved my MAC's Weekend Cream Bronzer. Subsequently, finally getting a good dent in it, and that makes me a little sad, but I am happy to use up some of my makeup now. I don't want to just collect it, because you know, stuff expires, you always find something better, and then, you know, over time things lose pigmentation, and you don't want to just hoard it all. So for lips, I do have some favorite lip products, and for me it was either really nude or really bright. MAC Peach Stock was my favorite nude. I had this in my bag for like a week and I loved it. My favorite coral goes to Vegas Volt, or any corals along that lines. Favorite pink goes to OCC Lip Tar and Anime. And favorite red goes to Rouge Artist Intense in Moulin Rouge. So those are my favorites, and thanks for watching.